While the final series of the season doesn't have any bearing on the standings or the Rangers' position in the playoff matchups, these last 4 against the rival Angels should serve as a good test heading into the postseason. This first game serves as the last regular season start for that guy, Cliff Lee. And the postseason prep begins in earnest for Cliff and the Rangers as they welcome the Angels. It's coming up right now, right here on Fox Sports Southwest. The AL West champion Rangers have one last tune-up before the postseason starts. It's the Angels, a team that most people thought would be the champion of the AL West, but nope, not so much. It's the Rangers instead. And we are just a few minutes away from the first pitch tonight. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Josh Lewin. Elvis Andrus is back in the lineup tonight. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think if you've watched Elvis the last couple of weeks, he might not admit it, but he looks a little bit tired. And it's a long season, both physically and mentally, for a 21-year-old. Batting leadoff for the first time, playing the taxing position of shortstop. He's stealing bases, he's running the bases, he's utilizing the sacrifice bunt, doing all the things he can to give the Rangers what they need at the top of the lineup. And after 162 games, it stands to reason that he's feeling a little bit of fatigue.
Yeah, well, and he is back in while David Murphy is held out. That groin strain keeping Murphy out. Josh Hamilton should be back tomorrow. Vladimir Guerrero's in the lineup tonight against his former team. It's the Rangers and the Angels when we come back. Check, 1 2 1 2. Check. 1 2. Check.
Okay.
If it was
All 4 games here in Arlington, it might determine the AL West champion. Well, the Rangers already wrapped that up. They did that this past Saturday in Oakland. What a thrill for everybody concerned. Now these 4 games still must be played. The Rangers tuning up for their first postseason since 1999. Let's go down to Emily Jones.
Well, Josh, they will be playing without David Murphy tonight. Everyone waiting to see the results of that MRI after leaving the game yesterday with the left groin strain. Luckily, the MRI revealed just a strain for David Murphy. He realizes the timing could have been worse, but it also could have been better.
To 10-day type thing, it might be something that would require, a 15-day disable this stint. But these are all maybes, and who knows when the first time I get out there and test it, it could be great. It's just kind of playing the waiting game right now.
David Murphy with tonight's Geico quote of the game. Again, his status up in the air. He will not play for the remainder of the regular season. They'll give it a go here in a few days and see how he responds. Josh.
Thank you, Em. Yeah, no Murphy, no Hamilton tonight, but Hamilton should be back tomorrow, and hopefully that all goes well. The Rangers obviously need a left-hand bat in that lineup come next week. There's a left-hand pitcher on the mound tonight who will be on the mound for the Rangers in Game 1, either at New York or at Tampa Bay. Cliff Lee at 12-9, his last tune-up, and a lot to talk about with Cliff tonight. First, let's introduce you to the Halos batting order. Peter Borges, Howie Kendrick, and Bobby Abreu. You'll note that the best batting average here is that of Torrey Hunter, only .285. The Angels, every year, the last 9 years, have had at least one .300 hitter. It's not going to happen here in 2010. So that's the Mike Scioscia 1 through 9 right there. And Cliff Lee, with Seattle, Tom, his ERA was 2.3. With the Rangers, it is closer to 4.3. If you average it all out, 3.29, and that's real good.
Yeah, and the only thing that matters right now is how Cliff feels, and that is 100%, and how things go from here on out. This is a tune-up for postseason play. Cliff has been throwing the ball well since he came back from missing a start. 2.57 ERA, 1.97 opponent's average in his last 3 starts, and that's with his start against Oakland, where he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. He throws strikes. Batters like to swing the bat against Cliff. They swing right off the bat. 37% of the time, they swing at the first pitch.
Might as well, right? Because he's going to throw strikes.
He's going to throw strikes.
Fewer strikes lately, and that is a mild concern, I guess. 6 walks in his last 3 games. For anybody else, it's not a big deal, but because he had 6 walks in his first 13 games this year, 6 over 3 games, that just makes it look like he's not quite himself. Tom, if the Rangers do get the Yankees, obviously there is a battle-tested nature to that. Cliff beat the Yankees in the World Series twice last year with the Phillies. And he may be the one pitcher that those very patient Yankees won't wear down. Opposing starters averaging last year in the playoffs about 5 innings against New York. But not Cliff Lee. Cliff was able to go the distance against them. Be that as it may, I guess if you had to handicap who the Rangers are more likely to face in that first round, you'd have to say the smart money's on Tampa Bay right now. Tampa Bay has got a half a game lead, but because they own the head-to-head tiebreak with New York, really the Yankees have to make up not half a game, but a game and a half. That's it for Borges. And Lee begins with a strikeout tonight. Howie Kendrick comes up next.
Yeah, and the Yankees don't play today. That'll get rid of the half game. If Tampa Bay beats Kansas City, then they have a full 1-game lead. Actually 2 when you count the tiebreaker. And so it's going to be tough for the Yankees to catch them. They're in Kansas City for 4 games. Problem with playing a team like Kansas City, they don't have anything to lose.
Right.
They'll be loose, and Zach Greinke's pitching tonight, so nothing's guaranteed because it's Tampa Bay going in there to play.
But if Tampa Bay happens to win tonight, as Kendrick not even close to that one, pretty much the Yankees would have to sweep the Red Sox.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So don't book your tickets quite yet or anything, but just seems more likely that it's Tampa Bay right now. Either way, at some point, if you really want to get to where you ultimately want to get, you're going to have to beat the Yankees or the Twins anyway. You got to get that ALCS thing happening to get to the big time prize. And since the Rangers haven't even been to the postseason since 1999, obviously anything that happens from here on, a lot of people figure is gravy, but not these players. I mean, they're here. They want the whole thing. In the air, center field. And there is Bourbon for out number 2. With Jeff Francoeur ailing, it is Esteban Herman in left field on the other side of Bourbon. Nelly Cruz in right tonight. Young Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland, that's your Ranger infield. And Benji Molina starting to come on a little bit, doing the catching tonight. The playoff-tested guy was a World Series winner with these Angels 8 years ago. Lefty to lefty, Bobby Abreu takes down and outside. I remember, Tom, a couple of years ago when Milwaukee finally made it to the postseason for the first time in forever. And they went out pretty quickly in that first round against Philadelphia. And I think a lot of the Milwaukee fans figured, well, you know, that's okay. I mean, at least we got there and we'll just, you know, get a little better at it next year. You know, World Series next year, that's fine. But Milwaukee has struggled since then. So I guess the point being, you don't know when the next opportunity is going to come up. I think these players definitely have that sense that just because they are going, that's not even close to achieving their goal here.
Well, I think if you go into it with the attitude, we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish, that will be about as far as you go. That attitude will pretty much be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You got to go in there knowing that that's just the beginning.
Well, and in this guy, you've got a warrior right at the front of the front that can get out there and basically say, boys, this is how it's done. Bobby Abreu, see you later. Lee strikes out a couple in his first inning, and now the Rangers coming up against Scott Kazmir. Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. 82-degree evening here in Arlington. The Rangers out there against the Angels for the first of 4. And then a best of 5 will follow against the Yankees or Tampa Bay. Andrews back in the lineup. Young and Cruz after that. Vladdy looking for that 30th home run. Then it's Kinsler and Molina. Herman, Moreland, and Bourbon against Scott Kazmir, who has had a majorly disappointing 2010.
He started 27 times. He's gone 9 and 15. His ERA is improving. It's at 6.03. It's been better recently. Has not pitched well against the Rangers this year, but in the past he's pitched very well. And one of his problems has been the long ball. He's given up 25 home runs this year. He's had 2 starts against the Rangers this year. He's lost them both. Last year he had 3 starts. His ERA was under 2, and we just showed you 12 career starts, 6 and 3 with a 2.84 ERA.
And it's funny, Tom, we're talking about the possibility of taking on Tampa Bay coming up. Kazmir used to be their ace. Those years that he was with the Rays, he was amazing, 2.05.
All the numbers are down. Rangers have hit 100 points higher against him recently.
Well, Elvis, as we talked about, admitting those 2 days off he just had were probably for the best. He wants to get his explosiveness back, he says. And Ron Washington pointing out, as you kind of hinted at, it's not just at the plate, but in the field. Make sure that he can get to all the baseballs he was getting to back in April and May.
Yeah, it's a demanding position to play shortstop on a pennant contender and then also be asked to lead off. It's kind of comfortable batting ninth. But when you're leading off, there's a lot of expectations that you need to get on base for the middle of the order. And so it's not just physical, it's the mental pressure of playing 162 games as well.
Got to get it right by next week. Elvis is 4 for his last 42. Abreu, Borges, and Hunter left to right in the outfield. And there's your Angel infield. Jeff Mathis doing the catching. Oh, just to play, I guess, talk show host for a second here, Tag. What if?
Wink.
No, I mean like radio sports talk.
Oh.
I want to be like, you know, the guys on the ticket or something. Okay. What if Elvis can't quite get it by Sunday? And let's say he's, I don't know, 5 for his last 52. And what if Bourbon continues to bunt his way on base once a game and he's hitting 400 the last 3 weeks? Do you ponder doing a flip-flop?
Well, you know, that's a good question. You can look back to quite a while ago when the Tigers played the Cardinals in the World Series. And I think it was Mayo Smith was the Tiger manager. And he switched Mickey Stanley from center field to shortstop for the first time for the World Series. Now, my guess is that you go to the postseason with the guys that got you there. And that means Julio bats at the bottom of the order if he's in the lineup. And Elvis got you this far as the shortstop leading off. And I think no matter what happens the rest of the year, that's where my own opinion is, where he will be what he deserves to be, where he deserves to be. But, you know, it's stranger things have happened.
Yeah, do you go with all the statistical data and everything you've seen with your eyes for 26 weeks, maybe 31 weeks, really, including spring training, or do you say, okay, here's what I'm dealing with just for the last couple weeks, and do you ride that?
Yeah, my guess is you go with what got you there, and that would be Elvis at the top of the order.
It's amazing. It's just so much fun that we're talking about stuff like this on September 30th instead of, hey, did you see what happened at Double-A?
The other side of it is, if you play the Yankees, the first 2 pitchers are left-handed pitchers. So I don't know that you'd want a left-hand hitter that hadn't been leading off against those 2 guys. And if you play Tampa Bay, it's going to be David Price, which is going to be a tough assignment for every guy in the lineup, not just who's hitting ninth or who's hitting first. But Julio has definitely improved as the season's gone on. Been a force at the plate now.
Young draws the walk. All right, last time somebody drew a walk and Nelson Cruz came to the plate, things got a little crazy. That was yesterday in the 9th inning. It seemed so harmless. It was a tie game, just like it is now. There was a walk to Mitch Moreland. And then Nelly struck out horribly on a pitch in the dirt. And then the fun began. Guillermo Quiroz fired the ball in right field, just needing to toss to first to get Nelly and complete that strikeout. Moreland ran all the way home. And the Rangers had a walk-off strikeout from Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, and The good thing is you won't see it repeated right here because there has to be 2 outs for this to happen.
See, Carrot's nice and calm, just fires it into right field. And Moreland said he just saw that Dave Anderson was waving him all the way. That is the second time in the last 60 years that particular play has ended a game. It's the 6th time that there's been a walk-off strikeout, but 4 of those were on simply a wild pitch or a pass ball. In terms of a guy actually firing the ball away, the catcher making an error. It happened once in 1970, the Mets against the Braves, and that's it.
Yeah, the funny thing about that game was 2 runs scored, not just 1. Is that the one where 2 runs scored?
Uh-huh. Yeah, the Braves beating the Mets.
So that game wasn't only tied. They had a lead in that game and lost it.
That's more amazing. But that was 40 years ago. It's the last time that we had seen anything like that.
Yeah. That's why they called the Mets the amazing Mets.
0-2 to Cruz is fouled. The Rangers had participated in one game kind of like that. Again, it wasn't with an actual throwing error, but on a strikeout to end a game. Nelly's boomstick was not even in use yesterday. All he did was strike out, and he got mobbed. You might remember the other time, Tom, that it happened to the Rangers.
I remember. I was in the stands when it happened. No, actually, I was in the press box.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Pass ball by Orlando Mercado. And Wally Joyner scored the run.
I'm pretty sure that's the same game where George Wright misjudged the fly ball when Charlie Huff had a no-hitter in the 9th inning.
Yep.
Not only did he lose the no-hitter, he lost the game in the way you just described.
June of 1986. A pair of unearned runs to win it. Wally Joyner had that hit, scored from second on that Orlando Mercado pass ball.
And the funny thing about that inning was Gary Ward was playing left field that day. George Wright was a terrific outfielder, so he went into left field as a defensive replacement to help Charlie get the no-hitter. Instead, that play contributed to Charlie losing his no-hitter. Not only then losing the no-hitter, but losing the ballgame.
Now that is a great sign right there. Vladimir Guerrero, if you don't know, wears a Superman t-shirt under his Rangers Nike shirt. He kind of goes double undershirt. And he's been doing that since he joined the Angels about 6 to 7 years ago. It's the first time that t-shirt made an appearance. It's just been a tradition for Vladdy to kind of gear up as Superman every game. The Rangers have stolen away Superman from the Halos, and Vladdy obviously has been a big part of why the Rangers are up by 10 games. $50 runs batted in for Guerrero last year in Anaheim. And as a Ranger this year, 112. Vladdy tags one into left center field. On the run, reaching out Abreu. And with that, the inning is over. Hard hit. We're scoreless at the end of 1.
Thank you, Josh. In Community Quarter tonight, we have Sharon from the ELISA Project. Tell us a little bit about your organization, Sharon.
All right. The ELISA Project was established in 1999. We're dedicated to the prevention and effective treatment of eating disorders through awareness, education, support, and advocacy. A big part of what we do is focused on school-age education. We try to educate kids about healthy, active lifestyles, positive body image and self-esteem, and media literacy. In addition to that, we also provide resource and referrals, so if people are looking for information about eating disorders or where to find treatment or support, we're able to provide that.
There you go, and you see the information on the screen. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Sharon. Nice meeting you, Josh.
Thank you, Jim, and welcome, Sharon. You got Torrey Hunter at the plate. Cliff Lee deals. And Cliff Lee is off to a nice start tonight. Couple of first-inning strikeouts. The Metroplex resident, Mr. Torrey Hunter. The Angels ending the season here. That works for Torrey Hunter. He's just got to drive home for the season on Sunday afternoon. The rumor is he's having all of his teammates over after the game tonight for a little post-game, I guess, meal, party, get-together. Into the crowd. In a crowd of probably about 24,000 here at the ballpark right now. Maybe we'll get a little bit bigger as we go along. Another beautiful night tonight, Tag.
Yeah, it's supposed to get even better.
Better than this?
Yeah, next couple of days supposed to get even a little cool off a little bit.
Hunter down on strikes. That's 3 for Cliff Lee.
Good changeup so far for Cliff Lee. He got Kendrick to pop out to center field on a good changeup. And he gets Torrey Hunter to reach for this and miss it. The ball tailing away from him. Great pitch right there from Cliff. Cliff's pitched against the Angels several times, as a matter of fact. He's gone at least 8 innings in all 3 starts this year. 2-1, 2.96 ERA against him. Changeup.
And Mike Napoli with a team high 26 home runs. He's hit 4 of those against the Rangers. Tied up right there, 1-2. Angels coming off a 3-game sweep of Oakland to overtake the A's for second place, and that becomes their goal right now, is make sure they're the second place finisher, not the A's. Tried to backdoor that thing, couldn't quite get it there. 2-2. Busted bat, and Mike Napoli also is out number 2.
Another good changeup. Napoli hit that ball right off the end of the bat. Looked just like his fastball. Just takes a little bit off it. Fastball is 91, 92. Changeup 84, 85. Just enough to keep you from getting the good part of the bat on it. You reach for it, just don't make solid contact. Much less than solid contact, as a matter of fact.
Yep, whatever the opposite of solid contact is.
Not much left of that bat.
Now Hideki Matsui, the World Series MVP last year. Esteban Herman out of room.
A lot of gloves out there in left field.
Yeah.
Someone grabbed it.
They came equipped. That away, Dad.
I would have caught it if you didn't get it, Dad.
Must have goatees to be in that area. That's the best. That guy, he is the big hero.
Yes, he is.
To Junior right now.
Didn't take long either.
Strike, 2 to Matsui. Matsui only had 13 at-bats in last year's World Series and was MVP. Did not start the games against Cliff Lee. Boy, he was a one-man wrecking crew in that make-or-break Game 6, driving in 6 for the Yankees. If Matsui had been doing for the Angels all year what he's been doing the last 5 or 6 weeks, maybe things would have turned out a little bit different. But he was kind of mediocre until the end of July, beginning of August. Inside 2-2. It's got to give the Rangers so much confidence knowing that Cliff Lee is going to pitch twice if necessary in that first round. 4-0 in last year's postseason. The ERA less than 2. This does make you feel better knowing that he's got this kind of stuff right now, not what he was featuring about 3-4 weeks ago. Lined, base hit. We've talked about Matsui in these terms before, Tom. One of those rare lefties who hits tough lefties.
Yeah, he kind of hammered that high fastball. Cliff got ahead in the count and then couldn't make the pitch he was trying to make. Missed with a slider. Missed with a fastball down. This would have been ball 4, but Matsui swung at it and got on top of it, lined it into center field.
Alberto Callaspo, the batter, 9 for his last 73, and he's probably their best option right now. Kevin Franzen is 0 for his last 26. They could play Brandon Wood there. He's 0 for his last 19. Wood is actually playing shortstop tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty bad stretch for Callaspo. He's a pretty good hitter. And he makes really good contact. He's not a guy that's a wild swing, strikeout kind of guy.
One of the last guys you'd think would have a streak like 9 for 73. Last time we saw him, he was fouling the ball off his foot, and he actually missed a week because of that. And he has hit Cliff very well. Nice catch. Wearing your Ranger red. Don't forget to wear your Ranger red tomorrow at the big rally here at the ballpark. That starts at 11:30 a.m. Ron Washington will speak. John Daniels will speak. Nolan Ryan, Chuck Greenberg. Right at Home Plate Plaza at 11:30 a.m. It's starting tomorrow. Got him. Callaspo down on strikes. That's 4 for Cliff Lee. Through 2. shop for the Rangers, TexasRangers.com. Browse the largest online selection of all the authentic team gear. Get your playoff stuff, get your Claw and Antlers stuff. TexasRangers.com. What a gold mine Richard Hoggy Price developed for this franchise with the Claw and Antlers t-shirts. They're selling at a record clip. Kinsler taking inside. Molina and Herman to follow. Again, the Rangers coming off that 6-5 comeback win yesterday. They had trailed 5-1. Whoa, behind Ian Kinsler, who tends to have that happen to him sometimes against these Angels.
That just came out of nowhere. Yeah, it's if you're the hitter, you have to say to yourself, he must have been trying to do that. It's pretty hard for a guy like Casimir. Casimir doesn't have great control. He's walked 77 batters in 144 innings. But I mean, that pitch is 4 feet inside on the other side of him. I don't know how one can get away from you and be that wild.
Yeah, that's what Kinsler's look was. Why you guys keep doing me like that? Oh, he pulls that one foul. Famously, Kinsler and John Lackey had at it a couple of years ago. Lackey came off the DL. His very first couple pitches of the year were behind Kinsler, and Lackey was ejected right away. Couldn't believe it.
There wasn't much doubt what Lackey was doing, and the umpires were ready for it, too.
I waited 5 weeks to make his debut that year. Throws 2 pitches and he's gone.
I wanted to ease into it. Didn't want to overextend himself.
Kinsler ends up walking. Second walk allowed by Casimir already.
One thing, at least with Casimir today, is fastball velocity is not what it used to be. At least not today. Not sure what it's been all season long, but with Tampa Bay, when he was throwing well, his velocity was 91, 92, 93, right around there. I don't think he was ever a mid-90s guy, but it's generally over 90. Right now it's struggling to reach 90, which doesn't mean you can't be successful. It just doesn't have quite the same velocity that he used to. Maybe an end of the season kind of thing. Maybe just one game, but that's what we're watching today anyway. Casimir's won 10 games at least in all 5 of his major league seasons. Needs to win today to accomplish it again, make it 6 straight. His first 4 years, he didn't have an ERA above 4. He was below 3 every year his first 4 years.
Towering fly ball from Benji Molina. And Torrey Hunter looks up into the lights. He's got it. Well, a couple things kind of in the subtext of yesterday's game, Tom. Again, the walk-off strikeout obviously is going to be your headline. But one good thing, one bad thing out of yesterday. The good was seeing Mark Lowe out there.
Yeah, that was great.
A triumphant return or debut. I don't even know what to call it. It was a debut as a Ranger, but a return to Major League Baseball. He'd been out since early May. Had that back surgery. Boy, he was throwing the ball great. And with Frankie Francisco not available for that first round of the playoffs, maybe Mark Lowe sneaks onto that roster. Line shot. Uh-oh. Kinsler doubled off. And with that, the inning is over. Angels nothing. Rangers nothing. We'll come back and then put a cap on yesterday. Continue doing that. AT&T Rethink Possible. No score in the third. We were talking about the good and the bad from yesterday. The thing, obviously, that did not go well for the Rangers, the injury to David Murphy. And as we talked about during the pregame show and right at the top of the broadcast, Murphy hoping to be back, obviously, by the time the playoffs start. But they kind of dimmed the enthusiasm for yesterday's victory. David has been such an important part of what the Rangers have become. Hamilton should be back tomorrow, and you cross your fingers that all systems will be go all through the weekend. But now you got to cross fingers on the other hand for David Murphy. We got a little bit of a problem here, Tom. We got Cliff Lee on the mound tonight, and he averages only 14 pitches per inning. That's the best in the American League. You are sitting there with a stack of thank yous and all kinds of cards to read. I don't know quite how we're going to get this done.
I'm just going to have to spread it out a little bit today.
All right.
I'm going to have to pick my spots. We have a lot of things that you have to read tonight, too, that pay for the broadcast.
Well, right. Sponsors are very important.
I have to wait my turn.
A pop-up. Well, they are not exactly squaring up on Cliff Lee quite yet. Mathis is out. Okay, go.
I want to congratulate Hadley Albrecht from Bushland, Texas. You know why?
Why is that?
She had the grand champion pig at the state fair.
Oh, that Hadley Albrecht.
Yes.
No.
You may have heard of her. Congratulations, Hadley. That's great.
That's outstanding.
Generally, we only announce people that send up barbecued food up here. We're making an exception today. We don't want you to do that. But congratulations. That's a very nice thing to do.
Brandon Wood takes the strike. You don't actually have a huge blue ribbon to award on that, do you?
No, I didn't get to award that, but I know for Hadley that's a very big honor. She should be very proud of that.
1-1 to Wood. Can you say hello to somebody's brother-in-law, please?
Yes. Specialist Ellerin. Her brother-in-law in Iraq. Specialist, I hope you're watching. Thank you for your service and all that you do for our country. And there's some people that are very proud of you right there.
Lee to Wood, and it's now 2-2.
Also got a nice letter from Gary and Peggy Dickerson. And a picture of their dog Nellie, named after Nellie Cruz.
Really?
Every time Nellie Cruz hits a home run, this dog howls. Now, he might get prompted a little bit. I'm not too sure. But
that dog will hunt.
Gary and Peggy, thank you very much for the picture of Nellie.
Strike 3 to Brandon Wood.
Cliff, thank you very much for that pitch to Brandon Wood. 5 strikeouts, once through the order for Cliff.
That's the kind of tune-up you were hoping for.
Yes, it is. That's the pitch that has really brought him a lot of success. Start the cutter or slider on the outside part of the plate and outside the plate and bring it right to the outside corner of the plate. And many times you get the hitter to look at it, go back to the bench saying, boy, sure didn't look like a strike.
Borges with a bunt. Cliff Lee will grab it. Little double clutch, and that cost him. Borges with a bunt hit.
And it shows you the pressure that a batter with speed can put on a fielder, in this case the pitcher. That wasn't a great bunt. It was a decent bunt. A terrible bunt for someone that can't run. But for Borges, batting left-handed, getting out of the box quickly, if Cliff fields this ball perfectly and throws it immediately, he's got a shot. But once it took him a little bit of extra time, and you'll see it right there to get a grip on the ball, then Borges had it beat.
Did you just call him Clee? I like that. Did you just coin a phrase there?
Yeah, total mistake.
No, I like that, though. C. Lee. Clee.
Clee.
Runner goes. And Kendrick with a foul.
I should have acted like I did it on purpose.
I know. That's why I thought you were going with that. Wow,
But
Tag's working on nicknames.
Most people know I'm not that clever.
Say 5 strikeouts for Clee so far.
Also, our friend Tracy Seiler sent up her very famous banana bread. Thank you, Tracy.
Rangers are undefeated, she points out, when she's toting the banana bread. Yep, thank you, Tracy. Delicious.
Janice and Bob Test from Abilene, Texas, sent up a huge bag of nibbles. That's what she makes for her family during the holidays.
Nibbles?
Nibbles.
Nibbles.
Yep. You know, rice checks and pretzels and spicy stuff on it. Thank you, Janice.
Kendrick showing bunt.
Gail Brown and her son Keith Brown from Waller, Texas, sent up a huge bag of peanut brittle. We have a wide variety of stuff tonight.
No kidding. I thought
I love it.
I thought I saw kolaches back there too.
We do have kolaches. I'll get to them in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
But you might not have seen this. From Rosanna and Garland Crafton from Hurst, Texas. Because it's time, we have a clock.
I saw that. That
in
thing
the shape
was gorgeous.
of the state of Texas. That is on our wall already. That's an out. Help.
No, it skips and Borges takes off going to third.
Hurry up.
Yeah, he had eyes for coming on in.
That was one. Benji had a shot at him. If the throw was accurate and Ian could have caught the throw in the air, I think they had a pretty good shot at Borges on that play. But the ball bounced and Ian, if all he had to do was catch the ball, he probably could have blocked it. But he's trying to catch the ball and make a tag. And that's pretty tough to do on that throw.
3 errors for the Rangers in their last 2 games after they had gotten 7 games without one.
So thank you, Rosanna and Garland Crafton from Hurst, Texas, for the great clock. We won't get to use it much this year, but we'll have it on the wall for next year for sure.
And, you know, going with your new nicknaming abilities, instead of great clock, we just call that Glock.
Glock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Glock is on the wall. We got that covered.
3-1, the count to Kendrick. Now 3-2.
Got a huge batch of banana pudding from the Parrott family from Arlington, Texas. They want us to say hi to Dell and Sharon Jolly. They're the biggest Ranger fans in Arkansas, evidently. Nice. Thank you, Parrott family, for the banana pudding.
See if Cliff Lee can take care of Kendrick. 3-2, keep this game scoreless. Looks like it. Elvis Andrews takes that friendly hop, fires, got him. Exactly the tune-up that you wanted to see out of Cliff Lee. 3rd, and you can come out to the ballpark tomorrow for that Rangers Red Rally, hosted by the Arlington Convention and Visitors Bureau. Starts at 11:30 a.m., goes till 1. Assemble, please, at the home plate gate. It's free. It's open to the public. Wear your Rangers red. Come on out and you can get your AL West Division Champion T-shirt if you want to. Buy that at the Majestic Grand Slam shop. Here from Nolan Ryan, Chuck Greenberg, John Daniels, Ron Washington, emceed by the great Chuck Morgan. Tomorrow starting at 11:30. Mitch Moreland, the guy that made the mad dash on the walk-off strikeout yesterday. Weirdest dog pile ever yesterday. Nelly Cruz strikes out on a pitch that was 3 feet out in front of home plate, and everybody loved him. That's the 5th time this year, Tom, that a game has ended positively with Nelson Cruz at the plate. He's had 3 walk-off homers, a walk-off single, and now the walk-off punch-out.
Got another note here from Richard Smith from the Champions Cove Senior Living Center, who would like us to wish a happy birthday to a very ardent and devoted Ranger fan. She is 90 years old today, and her name is Irma McKinney. Oh, I almost had you a home run right as I said your name, Irma.
That would have been cool.
Just went foul. Anyway, Irma McKinney, one of the Rangers' biggest fans, is 90 years old today. Happy birthday, Irma. And hello to all the other seniors at the Champions Cove Senior Living Center.
A lot of great Ranger fans there.
Yep. I know they're watching tonight, too.
Rangers still trying to decide on their first base situation for this postseason, Tom. Moreland, I guess if you wanted to look at it this way, you can look out there and see that Davis is 0 for his last 11, Cantu 0 for his last 12. There is an opportunity for Mitch Moreland to get hot right now and maybe play his way back into favor. Cantu is supposed to be in the starting lineup tonight, and he, like Grandcourt, is taken ill. I guess that's another thing that you talk about is Moreland grounds out. If a bunch of guys had to get sick all at once,
do it now.
Please, right now instead of next Thursday. Now the re-energized Julio Bourbon, hitting about .350 in this last month. Forty runs batted in his bottom spot in the order this year. And he's also got the 17 bunt hits.
Did you know that Ennis, Texas held the National Polka Festival?
You know,
if you didn't, you do now.
Yeah, no, I know that there's a big Czech representation down there. And
there is. And because of that, the Phillips family sent us a big box of kolaches.
There you go.
They also asked us to wish Dorothy Spurrier of Grand Prairie a happy birthday. She actually celebrated it in March. I guess we missed it by a little bit, but she was 80 years old anyway. But she's here today for her first game.
I got to admit, the kolache is something that when I first got to Texas, I'm like, what is that? And then I had one. It's like, oh, cool. Base hit for a ball in the center. Well, he just stays hot. Andrew's coming up. We say hello to Jim Knox again.
Josh, I am with the Sports Marketing Association of North Texas on hand for tonight's game, about 35 strong. This is Chris, the president, and they're having a good time, right? Yes, sir. Okay, now, if you had to sports market this team for next year, if you had to do a little marketing, if you had to change anything, they did an outstanding job this year, what would you do, Chris? Anything come to mind?
I'd probably suggest a free girls' night because, you know, if the girls come, the guys are going to follow them. So
All right, there. What do you think about that, guys? Huh? Yeah. Not bad. Girls like that. All right. right, Chris. Well, good to have you. That's why he's the president, I guess. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the rest of the game. There you go.
If I can impart just some wisdom to the president, one thing I know, girls are not free. But thank you, guys. Thanks for coming out.
I had to bite my tongue when you said that.
I know you did. Base hit to right for Andrews. Bourbon wheels his way to third. In there.
Oh, I didn't think he was going to get there. I didn't think he got a great jump going around second base, and he challenged Torrey Hunter, who came up and made a pretty good throw, really. He really just outran that throw to third base. That's some good aggressive base running right there. Nice line drive hit for Elvis.
That dynamic right there, if the Rangers can have some of that in the postseason, you feel real good. With Bourbon and Andrews being able to connect together like that. You love this. Runners at the corners with speed for Michael Young. And maybe that'll be the hit tag that gets Elvis Andrews going again.
Maybe. A very nice line drive hit. Last note.
Oh, already?
Thank you to the cookie lady,
Nice.
Shirley Coast, for a great season. Shirley,
All year, yep.
our most loyal fan for sure. Thank you very much. For the snickerdoodles and the pineapple with maple frosting. Our favorites. Evan Grant accused us of announcing for the State Fair tonight. We really did.
We actually did it, yeah.
We actually did talk about the State Fair tonight.
And we're talking about Evan, so everybody wins.
They probably should invite us out to the State Fair to judge the baked goods contest that they have out there.
Yeah, who better than you and I?
Anyone's had it.
Michael Young drills it right center field to the track. It's caught by Borges. Andrews slips and goes back to first, but coming on in to score the first run is Bourbon.
Well, that's about the only part of the ballpark that you could hit a ball that far and not have it hit the wall or go over the wall. Right to the 407 sign, which is the deepest part of the ballpark. Michael drove that sacrifice fly.
RBI number 90 for Michael Young. A tremendous year all the way around. As solid as ever.
Well, for people that are interested in seeing players round off their numbers, there you go. An even 90.
I look at Vlad Guerrero right now hitting 300 right on the button. And obviously the hope, because historically you want to say Vlad Guerrero joined the Rangers and hit 300. Not 298, not 299. That Vladdy can get a few more hits, and then you got the luxury on Sunday of just kind of taking the day off if you need to preserve that.
I'd like to see him get a few more hits and make one of them a home run. Round off the 29 home runs to 30.
A big series, you might have a 30/120 and the 300 batting average. That would just look like, for the history books, a great, great year.
Yep.
They've got Elvis picked off. He skids to a stop. We'll stay in the hot box here. Don't hurt yourself, Elvis. He will be tagged out.
He tried to draw the interference, but the second base umpire is Tom Hallion, and he signaled, nope, you did not get the interference.
He's gotten it before, but just not that time. The Rangers do get a run on the Michael Young sac fly. Time for Chevy at the ballpark. Latrell McNatt Chevrolet is recognized tonight for their support of the Sanger Summer League. And for information on Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, just go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. A sac fly from Michael Young, and the Rangers lead 1-0. Cliff Lee, or Clee, as we now affectionately call him, going to face Bobby Abreu, Torrey Hunter, Mike Napoli here in the fourth. And Cliff will be on the mound against either Tampa Bay or New York on Wednesday of next week, game 1 of the ALDS. Bobby Abreu, durable as ever. Another season of 150 games, 13 of those in a row. Saw a stat on him that really jumps out, Tom. 20 homers, 20 steals, 40 doubles again. That's 5 times in his career he's had those stats. No one has ever done that before. The only major leaguer ever with 20 homers, 20 steals, 40 doubles, as many as 5 times.
Wow.
Yet he's only been in the All-Star game twice. Out number 1 here in the fourth. Again, the Yankees are not playing tonight. We'll keep you current on Tampa Bay, just kind of taking a peek at that one as we go tonight. They are losing 3-0 right now to Kansas City in the third. If that holds, then the Rays and the Yankees would have identical records heading into that last weekend. And again, a very slim tiebreak going the way of Tampa Bay. 10 wins to 8 in that season series, Tampa Bay versus New York. And that could be what ultimately decides where the Rangers point the plane. On the ground to short, Elvis Andrus will scoop it up. 2 down. Matsui has a hit. Borges has a bunt single. And that's all the damage against Cliff so far. Napoli grounded out to the left side first time up. Thinking about stepping into one right there. Instead, he takes the strike. It's a pretty well pitched game from Kazmir the other way, too, so far tonight. That one drops in for strike 2. It was on this date, Tom, in 1984 that the best ever game was pitched by an Angel, and it was at the Rangers' expense. Mike Witt had that last day of the year perfect game against Texas. Got him, Cliff Lee.
Fastball, curveball, fastball. See you later.
And 6 strikeouts through 4 innings. 1-0 Rangers are scored. Nelson Cruz opens the bottom of the fourth with a foul ball. Rangers leading 1-0. Bourbon scoring the run on a Michael Young sac fly. Cruz, then Guerrero here in the inning. Well, another one behind a Ranger. That happened to Kinsler, too. Maybe Ian can take it less personally now, but still.
Yeah, those are just balls that are getting away from Scott. He's not trying to throw the ball at him. I'm not sure what he's doing to make the ball go that far in the wrong direction. But they just kind of come out of nowhere. It's not like there's been a lot of pitches doing that. Only been a couple.
Cruz rams it into center field. Back goes Bourne. Just turns around, plays it high off the wall.
Just a rope.
You couldn't even count the Mississippis on that one getting out there. It just hammered off the wall. A double for Nelly Cruz. Guerrero comes up next.
Well, Borges is playing pretty deep. And he's fast. He gets a decent jump. He just has no chance to catch this ball. It hits right near the top of the wall. Pitch right down the middle of the plate. And the only thing it lacked was a little bit of height. It would have been 3/4 of the way up on the grass in center field. Just a bullet. Watch it hit the top of the wall. Whack. Hit it so hard, Borges couldn't catch it. Didn't matter. It was going to be a double anyway. Leadoff double.
Vladdy taking down and in. Line shot, base hit, Guerrero. That'll be RBI number 113 for Big Bad Vlad into second base with a double.
I haven't seen Vlad drill one down the right field line lately. Very nice job. Hitting behind the runner, man on second and nobody out. Move the runner all the way to home. Change places with him.
9 for 18 career against Kazmir now is Guerrero. The claw. The strike to Kinsler. Kinsler takes, and we go to Emily Jones.
Well, Josh, you guys mentioned at the top that Josh Hamilton will be back in the lineup tonight, or tomorrow night, rather. The plan for him is for him to play 6 innings tomorrow night in the field, DH on Saturday, then on Sunday play a complete game in the outfield. Ron Washington very adamant about the fact that when Josh is playing, he wants him to be in the field.
I think one good thing is you look down in the dugout, you see Josh sitting on the bench, animated, smiling, which tells you he's feeling pretty good. And he's worked hard the last couple of days too. He's not just, trying to take it easy to get back. He's pushing it hard to get back. And so the fact that he's smiling on the bench seems to tell you that he's not feeling too much pain right now, and that's great.
Kinsler, and it stopped it short. But that's pretty much all Brandon Wood could do, is just knock it down. Should go as an infield hit.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen Brandon Wood get a glove on a ball and not catch it. He's got good hands. He would have been challenged to make this play. And he's got a pretty strong arm, too. Ball comes up on him, hits him in the heel of the glove.
No official ruling on it yet. But it brings up Benji Molina with 2 on and nobody out. E6. So double error It's how the Rangers come out here in the fourth. A backhandable ball. I agree with you, Tom, but also I agree with what you said about it was going to be tough to get a speedy runner.
Yeah, that to me is an in-between call for the official scorekeeper. I would have ruled it a hit, but I won't argue with the call because I can see the other point of view too. It wasn't a ball way in the hole where it was going to be a hopeless attempt. It was one of those balls that I think if Wood was able to catch it, he might have had a play at first base. So that's one I really can't argue either side of that call.
Molina towards Borges, and Borges will make the catch. Bringing up Esteban Herman. Now to our AT trivia question. A starting pitchers in 96, 98, and 99 for the ALDS. Who was on the mound for your Texas Rangers? We know who it'll be in 2010. That'll be Cliff Lee. Are they discussing that call in the press box over there, Ted?
I don't think Randy Galloway liked the call. He's trying to get me on his side.
Was it the double thumbs down and the holding of the nose?
Yeah. The problem is the official scorekeeper is a good friend of mine. Dan Shimmick used to be our traveling secretary. So
yeah, but you like Galloway too, though.
I like Galloway too, but Galloway's been known to display some histrionics, to say the least.
Stir it up a little bit?
Stir it up a little bit. I think that's all he's trying to do. I made my statement. I would have called it a hit, but I'm not going to argue with Dan because I can see his point of view. Randy, on the other hand, sees only one point of view.
I just like seeing Randy all fired up. So
that's the Grand Prairie point of view. He doesn't even live in Grand Prairie anymore.
Two 2-0 to Esteban Herman. Three 3-0 with Mitch Moreland on deck. Another solid season at AAA for Esteban Herman, including 50 steals. Whacked in a center base hit. Borges plays it on the second hop. They will hold Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah, Esteban just hit that ball too hard and directly at Borges in center field. A little bit one way or the other you could score him, but this is a solidly hit rope right back up the middle.
Oh, you see a little Brett Boone bat flip right there too from Herman.
I like that. I like it when our guys do it. Not too thrilled when the other team does it.
I haven't seen the Booney bat flip since Brett Boone retired.
He left a legacy. Young players were watching Brett back then.
That used to cheese off Ranger fans, boy. Seemed like he had 3 hits a game, too. Loaded up for Moreland, and the Rangers can break it open here in the bottom of the 4th. Four Ranger base runners already in the inning. And the Angels will get some action now in the bullpen.
I have to apologize for a very stupid mistake I made.
What? No, what?
Well, Hadley was the young man whose pig was the grand champion at the state fair. We have a family friend named Hadley who is a lady. And so I said that Hadley was a girl.
But
My
Hadley's
mistake.
a boy.
Hadley's a boy. I'm very sorry, Hadley. Hadley's from Bushland, Texas, and he had the grand champion pig at the state fair, and
he did.
I messed it up on him. He did, yes.
That's Hadley.
Hadley did.
Well, hopefully we won't get swine news incorrect anymore. So.
I'll try not to. And if we didn't know someone named Hadley, I wouldn't have made that assumption.
Moreland, another foul. And Bourbon on deck. A win tonight, and the Rangers will be, for the first time in their history, 11 games up in first place. 11 years in D.C., 39 years in Arlington. They've never been 11 games up on anybody. That could happen tonight. Ground ball, first base. Got the one out there. Got to tag him now. And they do. Pulling off the double play after all.
Nicely done by Napoli, former catcher, now playing first base.
Glad he's out. The Rangers settled for 1 run in the inning. It's 2-zip. We're talking about the Rangers in the postseason. The Game 1 starters. Well, 96 matched up against David Cohn. It was John Burkett. Then Todd Stottlemyre got the draw in 98. And Aaron Seeley in 1999 against Orlando Hernandez, who pitched 8 innings of 2-hit ball. Rangers were outscored 14-1 in that division series in 99, and now they've got a shot to get back and have a little bit of a do-over, maybe against the Yankees, maybe against Tampa Bay. Matsui, a fly ball towards center. 1 pitch, 1 out, and Mark McLemore, a veteran of the playoffs, both with the Rangers and the Seattle Mariners, in the booth joining us, talking some playoff baseball. Mac, 5 times, right? You were in the Major League postseason.
5 times, and unbelievably, the Yankees beat me all 5.
That's pretty incredible that you drew the Yankees 5 times, the Rangers 3 times, you personally 5 times.
Me personally 5 times. It's more than unbelievable.
3 in the division series and 2 in the LCS, right? So all 5 times you got wiped out. You had to watch the Yankees.
I had to watch the Yankees on the other side celebrate.
What's the earliest a team you went to the playoffs on clinched?
Oh, the 2001 team in Seattle. I think we clinched in like June.
No kidding.
Well, when you've already clinched and you've got, a number of games to play, what's the mentality of the team? What are you trying to accomplish toward the end?
Well, our team, we had a veteran ball club, so we had guys that really understood what they needed to do and how to stay sharp. So we had guys taking a day off here, a day off there, but not wanting 2 days off in a row. We didn't have anybody that I remember to take 2 days off in a row. They wanted to stay in there and just stay fresh.
Herman, not used to left field, misjudging that, and Kayasco ending up at second base. Yeah. What else can you do?
I'm glad he's smiling because I was trying to keep from smiling. If he wasn't smiling, I wouldn't have laughed. That was a rather circuitous route, though, after this ball.
In, out,
Whoops.
over. Well, again, that's not what he is by trade as a left fielder.
No, and it's tough for an infielder to go to the outfield because as an infielder, you're taught to come in on the ball.
Right.
And so when that ball is put in play, your first step is just automatically in, and that's exactly what Herman did. He just added a few more to go with it.
Well, I'm glad you're in the booth because, Mac, I mean, you were known kind of, I mean, as Herman is now, as a guy that, sure, can play any infield position, but occasionally would have to go out and play some outfield, and that is a...
It's very difficult. I had fun to it. I enjoyed it. I looked at it as a challenge. Being an infielder my first 10 years in the big leagues and then starting to play in the outfield. Actually, the toughest position for me in the outfield was center field because that ball's coming right at you, and it's very difficult to get a read on a ball that's hit right at you. But the corners left and right, that was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed being in the outfield.
Well, since we're talking about that 0-1 Mariners team, and Mac won't tell this story on himself, but the Mariners wrapped up the deciding Game 5 against Cleveland with Mac making 2 terrific plays in left field, Seattle against Cleveland. And then, of course, he went on and lost to the Yankees. But
Thanks.
With Jamie Moyer on the mound, I remember that. You back in Jamie, returned a double play for Jamie out there in left field.
I did. You remember all of that, don't you? You remember a lot of things.
All the Mac stuff. I become Rain Man when it's all about you.
Well, with Hamilton and Murphy unavailable today, there really isn't another outfielder.
And Francoeur.
And Francoeur, yeah, right. Yeah. Francoeur is sick. Exactly.
Mathis checks his swing, and Mac, we were talking about momentum heading into the postseason, and there are some that suggest momentum is kind of a myth, and it's pointed out that of the 20 playoff teams in the wild card era that ended the year with 8 out of 10 wins, or even better than that, 9-1, 10-0, whatever, only 2 of those teams went on to win the World Series. There's Mathis striking out. You had the 05 White Sox closing hard, and they went and won it all. The 98 Yankees did it, but otherwise 18 out of 20 sizzling baseball teams down the stretch did not keep that going. So maybe momentum is a little overstated.
You want momentum, but I think, for me, when you've got teams that are playing at such a high level going to the end of the season in order to make it and get there, they suffer a letdown because they're trying so hard to make it, and it takes a toll on you mentally. So then you've got those, 2 or 3 days before you go into postseason play, and you're really trying to recuperate, and it's very difficult to do that. So I really just think the team that's playing the best, and not necessarily, a team that's won 10 out of 11 is playing the best baseball. You really can lose a lot mentally when you're playing that well going into postseason.
Did you ever, any of your playoff teams, come right down to the last day of the season where you had to win right at the end?
No. Fortunately, I would probably say the closest was maybe 4 or 5 games. So in that last week, definitely not that last weekend. That'd be a little nerve-wracking. It would be fun, but nerve-wracking.
Well, you were playing for the Angels in Anaheim the day that Garrett Anderson hit the bases loaded double off Mike Stanton, weren't you? Were you playing for the Rangers then? Or were you with Seattle?
90.
What year was that?
I don't even remember which year it was.
96,
was
right?
It 96?
Yeah.
Might have been 96.
Yes.
We're in Anaheim. You had a relatively big lead.
Yes,
and you dwindled down to 1. And
oh, yeah, I was there.
You got the game 1. All you got to do is throw him a slider. He throws him a high fastball.
That wasn't good.
Double, game over.
2 strikes.
Oh, man, that was awful.
That was not good. I was sitting out at second base, and I'm seeing the signs. And no!
At second base tonight as Ian Kinsler makes that play on Brandon Wood. Mark McLemore on Rangers Live after the game. Thank you, buddy.
You got it, Chief. Anytime, man.
Postseason number 6 for you coming up, Big Daddy.
Let's do it.
All right. ATTEX.com gets it done as well. Rangers lead tonight in front of a nice assemblage of the Claw and Antler Society. Bourbon rolls one to short. One down, bottom 5. Big crowd expected tomorrow night. The fireworks show after the game. Got the Saturday night game and then the Sunday afternoon game. And then obviously there will be big crowds next Saturday and Sunday. Games 3 and or 4 against the Yankees or the Rays. I'm sure the city planners are hard at work figuring out traffic flow. We're going to have the Texas A&M Arkansas football game Saturday. You're going to have a Cowboys game on the Sunday. And we do not know yet what the game times will be. All that doesn't get set until Sunday night. Elvis Andrus 1 out of 2. Coming off a couple days rest in a row. On the ground to short. Once again, Wood loads up. Second out, and Michael Young at the plate. You know, the National League playoff picture certainly not in focus yet either, Tom. San Diego really needs to kind of win out here because they're chasing both the Braves and the wild card. And the Giants, who have really finished strong now, the Giants have a chance to win their way in tomorrow because they play the Padres head-to-head. Padres pretty much need to win tonight, and they are scoreless in the 9th inning at home against the Cubs.
Some really good pitching in the National League West this year, and late in the season.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the Giants. Giants might not be a fun team to play in the postseason with that pitching.
Well, the preponderance of 1-0 games coming out of that division,
amazing.
It is amazing. And the Giants and the Padres seem to play them against each other all the time. They do finish up against each other this weekend in San Fran. And if San Fran wins just one of those 3 games, the Giants are in. Because the Giants won their game against Arizona today. The Padres could still make it as a wild card, but they'll need a little bit of help now. Atlanta's got to slow down.
Giants lead the National League with a 3.39 ERA. San Diego is second at 3.41. And then the team that San Francisco might play, let's see, will they play them? 88, 70? Yeah, they'll probably play them. Is Atlanta, and they're third at 3.53.
Yeah. Well, pitching carries it in the National League, that's for sure. The 2-2 on the ground towards second. Casimir has settled down. A 2-0 lead for the Rangers at the end of 5. Texas Ranger Baseball brought to you by your Texas Chevy dealers, proud sponsor of Texas Baseball. Also by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by The Social Network, in theaters tomorrow. Definitely going to go see that movie. That was great. Rangers 2 and the Angels nothing. On we go to the 6th here at the ballpark. Beautiful night. 79 perfect degrees right now. Peter Borges, top of the order against Cliff Lee. And again, as Ranger fans, if they were holding their breath at all, wondering, all right, which Cliff Lee is heading into the postseason? Well, it's this Cliff Lee, the one that has the 3-hit shutout right now.
And I think the main thing it's the healthy Cliff Lee. No problems with his back. He's able to finish off his pitches and follow through. Went through the stretch where his back was bothering him, and now he's healthy.
Borges lift off. Bourbon turning. Plays it off the wall. Now drops it. And that's going to let Borges get to third. Now Bourbon actually played it well initially. Was ready for the bounce back, and there it came, but then he dropped it. That could be a double and an error. Although I don't want to make any assumptions and don't want to start a war out there with Randy Galloway again. That will be a double and an E8. So now Kendrick comes up. Lines it. Kinsler reaches up, takes it out of the air.
Well, that's one of the things that a batter can do to not get the run in from third base. He can line out to an infielder. Yeah. He can pop out to an infielder. He can pop up shallow to an outfielder. He can strike out. He can probably hit a ball back to the pitcher or third base, but almost anything else is going to get a run in. Pretty hard hit ball by Kendrick.
Brings up Abreu. Young's going to play in a bit at third again. With the middle infield back. Well, the Angels have been playing a lot of close games here, Tom. Their last 25 games, 12 of them have been decided by exactly one run. Had the walk-off win yesterday against Oakland. And that sweep of the Angels has vaulted them past the A's into second place. That's where they'd like to stay. At least head into the offseason as a second-place team, not a bottom division team. That one knocked out of play. We mentioned another 2020 season for Bobby Abreu. 20 homers, 20 steals. Only guy not named Bonds ever to do that. Senior and junior Bonds had 10 of those seasons. And Abreu with 9. In pursuit, Bourbon makes the catch, but that's going to be easy for Borges to come on in. There will not be a shutout for Cliff Lee tonight. It's now 2-1. And as of now, an unearned run, right?
Yeah, depending on what this hitter does, it would be, because he probably, I don't think you could even assume he would have gone to third base on that play. Probably still be at second. That's a judgment that the official scorekeeper has to make when you're talking about an earned run. And depending on what Hunter does right here, if Hunter makes an out, it's an unearned run. If he gets a base hit, you'd probably rule that it would have been an earned run.
Hunter with a foul, 1-1. Hunter's the guy that had the walk-off hit for the Angels yesterday. and put them in range of still having a winning record, too. If they run the table, they'll get that done. And at the very least, if they win 3 out of 4 here against the Rangers, they can say they're a 500 team. 81 and 81. Hunter goes and gets that one. But Bourbon right there. 1 unearned run and a 2-1 lead for the Rangers. Bottom of the 6th is coming up. Time for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. The jackpot worth $400 and dinner for 2 at Sonic. Good luck to Tammy Edgerton of Victoria. If a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. The Rangers leading 2-1 now. Nelson Cruz trying to build that lead a little bit up against Scott Kazmir. Josh Hamilton expected back in the lineup tomorrow. And if that's the case, and if Cruz is out there and Guerrero's out there, that's the 3, 4, 5 part of the order that the Rangers will be fashioning come postseason. And again, postseason begins on Wednesday. It'll be at New York or at Tampa Bay. Wednesday and Thursday games there, then the Friday day off, travel day, to get set for Saturday and Sunday right here next weekend. Tom, we were talking about the Padres needing pretty much to win tonight, and the Cubs have gone ahead 1-0 in the 9th. Carlos Marmol is on now for the Cubs, trying to close it out.
Well, it's been a great season for the Padres. Some of us didn't think the Padres would stay in it this long, namely me, but they have. And congratulations to them. They've done it with some great pitching, enough timely hitting. And really a great season for them, for their fans. And who knows? Maybe they got another comeback left in them tonight.
Looks like they'll have to go to San Francisco and sweep the Giants there. Maybe no matter what happens tonight. Now again, the Yankees are off tonight, but Tampa Bay is playing and trailing in Kansas City 3-1. That game's in the 6th. Wouldn't that be something if going into the final weekend, the Yankees and the Rays were in a dead heat to decide that AL East? Of course, they're both in the playoffs. The loser just becomes a wild card.
Yeah, Minnesota's playing for home field advantage. They're losing tonight too, which means if and when they get to the second round, whoever they play will have the home field advantage. If it's the first place team in the East, anyway.
That's a fading.
Hopefully it'll be the first place team in the West.
Yes. Minnesota is a fading ball club right now. Not playing well down the stretch at all. Cruz, after a bunch of fouls, comes up and knocks it into right field.
Pretty nice job of hitting by Nelly right there. And most hitters hit a ball like that, it barely gets to the outfield. And Nelly just strokes a little single like that. It jumps off his bat. Looks like a line shot.
On your Ford leaderboard, the 300 batting average, 25/100. Vladimir Guerrero's on this list, and up he comes right now.
Adrian Beltre played himself into a potential nice free agent contract.
Yep, he had a real good year. One of the few Red Sox to stay healthy.
Stayed healthy and had the best year he's had in 5 years.
Gone final in San Diego, by the way. The Cubs win 1-0. Next home run for Vlad Guerrero will be number 30. You see Francisco Rodriguez, kind of see Rodriguez out there in the bullpen. It'll be 9th year for Vladdy with 30 home runs. The Rangers got one in the 3rd inning tonight, one in the 4th. And the Angels back with one in the 6th unearned. Infield, the double play depth. Vladdy works the count to 3-0. Kazmierz is kind of consistent with him, Tom, over the years. Just not always the kind of guy who gets you 0-2.
Kazmierz walked about 4.5 batters per 9 innings. That's a little bit high. We've seen him throw a couple of pitches today, a couple of feet behind right-hand hitters. Pitches that just got away from him. For the most part, he's been right around the plate, pitching a pretty nice game. Got a big ground ball double play from Moreland in the 4th inning. Bases loaded and 1 out. Helped him out.
Line shot, caught at third base.
There you could see a lot of ball in the tip of his glove. Glad he just missed a chance for his second double. He had a double down the right field line. That would have been a double down the left field line. Hard hit ball. Glad he's hit the ball hard all 3 times up today.
That's a great sign, too. This one was swinging well heading into the postseason.
First time up, he had a line shot with a man on base to left center field, and Abreu ran it down in the gap.
Getting away, hitting Kinsler. So that's a dead ball right there. Got Kinsler in the foot. Ian's been on 3 times in this game without a hit. Mike Scioscia, losing patience, is going to make the change here. Kazmir kept the Angels in it. And now they're going to go get Rodriguez to face Molina. We'll take a break and come back and see if the Rangers can extend the lead. 2-1 right now in the bottom of the 6th.
Francisco Rodriguez.
Rangers on top 2-1, and you wonder about this team, how they'll react in the postseason. They've been a team that's been so relaxed, having so much fun throughout the course of the season. So I talked to Benji Molina about mixing that chemistry they've got, that personality they've got, with the intensity of the playoffs.
I think you can change. If they play like that, they have to keep playing like that. The only thing that our focus has to be a lot stronger than whatever regular season was. Other than that, you're right. They have to keep playing the same way they've been playing all year. They don't have to change. Just intensity and focus, needs to be increased once the playoffs start.
And Benji speaks from experience, 29 playoff games under his belt, guys.
The comebacker, thanks, Emily, and just like that, Rodriguez throws one pitch. And it's a double play to keep the Angels within 2-1. We'll come back and play the 7th after this. Tom. Cliff Lee has allowed one unearned run, and that's it. So he gets ready for that Game 1 start in the division series. Tampa Bay still trails in Kansas City tonight, 3-1. If the Rays lose, they'll be tied with the Yankees. And that could go right down to the wire to see who the Rangers' opponent is going to be. Mike Napoli will foul one right back this way, right off the press box windows.
That's one of the few that gets all the way back here like that.
I heard you being asked before the game. You guys get many foul balls up here? And you said no, but
I think we've had, I don't know, maybe 2 in the last 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm. The trajectory is just not quite right for us.
Cliff's at 87 pitches right now. I'm sure Ron Washington would like to see him finish 7, be under 100 pitches. He's going to have 5 days before his first start in the playoffs. Works out perfectly.
Oh. He's got Napoli so confused tonight.
He does. He's got him twisting and turning. And guessing wrong. That's, as a hitter, you just want to get back to the bench and get out of the public eye as quickly as you can.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
7 strikeouts for Cliff. We've talked tonight about that strikeout to walk ratio. It's now back over 10-1 with a walkless night tonight. Boy, that one tough stretch. The last 3 starts, allowing 6 walks in 3. Kind of punishing Cliff, and may well prevent him from getting past Brett Saberhagen on that list. And probably the last inning for Cliff. Darren O'Day getting ready. Big swing from Matsui. Came up completely empty.
The only problem was he didn't get the fastball he was hoping for on 2-0. He's trying to hit a home run to tie the game right there. And maybe he would have if Cliff played into his plan of a fastball on the inside part of the plate.
Cliff's tricky, though.
Kind of thinking right along with Matsui on that pitch.
Got his man with a grounder. Well, Cliff in position to win his 13th of the year. As of right now, Tom, his ERA in his last 4 starts is about 2.2. That's what you want heading into October.
No doubt. And 2 of those games were 8-inning, 1-run games. This will be a 7-inning, technically a no-run game because it was an unearned run he gets this last hitter.
He's going to get that last hitter, yep. Elvis Andrus makes the play. Thank you, Cliff Lee, just for being you. He will head into the postseason with some confidence. Time for Chevy at the Ballpark, recognizing Latrell McNatt Chevrolet for their support of the Sanger Summer League. And for information on Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, please go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Bottom of the 7th, and Esteban Herman at the plate. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Rangers. 1-4 and 1 for the Angels. Rangers trying to win their 89th of the year. Nolan Ryan's prediction of 92 is still in play. Rangers would have to win out to make it so. Bunch of close games tonight around baseball. We mentioned the Cubs over the Padres. And Heath Bell, Tom, their great closer, who hadn't lost a game all year. What a time to lose his first all season tonight.
That's too bad.
The Reds are gearing up. They blasted the Astros tonight 9-1. Their first trip to the postseason in 14 years. For the Rangers, it's, of course, been 11.
And the White Sox, looks like they're going to beat John Lester, who's not going to win his 20th game tonight.
Yeah, that'll hurt his Cy Young candidacy.
Yeah.
Vermont is out. Moreland coming up.
I think if Lester pitched a shutout tonight and won his 20th game, he might have won the Cy Young with that appearance.
So 13 wins and all those stats for King Felix might trump 19 wins from Lester, huh?
It might. It might. And, 21 wins from CC Sabathia. There's some really good candidates. We talked about this the other day.
Moreland with a foul. The other thing that's not going to happen, Tom, there will not be a Triple Crown again. We thought there might be one in the National League, but it's not going to happen. Thought there might be one in the American League if Josh Hamilton stayed healthy. And then we didn't know at the time Jose Bautista would be a 50-plus home run hitter. Had no idea about that.
Well, there's a time in the National League where there were 3 hitters, Votto, Pujols,
and Gonzalez,
who were in the top 5 in the Triple Crown categories. So there was a real possibility there.
Triple Crowns are tough, and they point out that power hitters typically don't hit for a high average, and high average hitters seldom are home run threats. And since Yaz hit those 44 homers in his Triple Crown season of 1967, that home run total has been matched or beaten 106 times. But only 18 of those times if somebody hit as high as Yastrzemski did that year, 326. So statistically it's tough just because of that dynamic. I think Josh Hamilton proves another problem with getting a Triple Crown is durability. You can't get your homers and RBIs up where you need them if you're going to miss 30 games. "43 years without a Triple Crown in either league." Moreland hangs tough during that at bat, finally singles in a right.
He's been swinging the bat well tonight. First time up, he had a hard ground ball to second. Second time up, he had some good swings, ended up grounding to first into a double play off the left-hander. And a nice swing right there against Rodriguez, and rips that ball into right field.
You love to see at bats like that rewarded. There are a whole batch of foul balls, and then finally the guy gets a hit. Callasco in at third. Bourbon will slash one up in the air towards left. And that's the at-bat we have not seen from Julio much at all the last couple of months. Remember in April we saw that at-bat a lot.
Yeah, early in the season that was his problem. Lazy fly balls the other way. He's really got to concentrate to kind of get on top of the ball and line it. And he's been doing a great job of that.
Inning left to Elvis Andrus, top of the order. 22 years old and already an all-star and heading to the postseason now. It's one of the many reasons John Daniels looks like a pretty sharp guy when it was put out there last year. All right, we're going to bring up a 20-year-old, not 21 yet until August. Bring him right up from Double-A and just plug him in. And it's worked out great. Arlington now in that Angel bullpen. Tomorrow night, Tommy Hunter to the mound. It looks like Tommy will get a shot at Game 4 here in Arlington, if indeed there is a Game 4. So that'll be his tune-up. Andrews hits it hard. It rolls off of Kendrick. He'll recover. Got him by half a step. And the Rangers turned away here in the 7th. It stays 2-1. The Coors Light Freeze Cam, Cliff Lee, quite a night tonight. He's going to be done after 7 innings. Showing you some of his best work. No walks again. His final strikeouts to walk ratio this year will end up at about 10.3 to 1. That is some high quality stuff. And now Darren O'Day takes over. The Rangers leading 2-1 in the 8th.
Phil Crow's wife, Norma, on the right. We've seen Phil almost every day for the last 10 years. First time we've gotten to see his lovely wife. And Rich Billings is up there. Wow.
Anyone who's
all sorts of celebrities. That is the place to be right there. Glad to see he's not drinking a beer. Got a little diet drink. Good boy, Rich.
We'll set the defensive changes for you here. And again, Darren O'Day now on the mound.
Back in the late 60s, early 70s, when Rich Billings was my roommate, he wasn't drinking many diet sodas back then.
Was there such a thing as Diet Budweiser?
He's drinking something a little stronger than that. He used to like those Galliano Stingers back then.
One of your defensive changes has just introduced himself to you. There's Chris Davis at first. Nelly Cruz has moved to left. That's because Moreland is now in right. So again, Cruz in left, Moreland in right, Davis at first. Ibar will pinch hit now. It was his tourist who lined out.
Yeah, this is like giving Mike Scioscia the top 2 guys in his lineup for a lot of the year. A lot of times you'd see either Ibar or his tourist at the top of the lineup. Both of these guys are good top of the lineup guys.
He swung and missed, and it hit him.
I'll say it hit him.
That's not cool. In fact, that's really embarrassing for everybody.
He's trying to act like it didn't happen.
Well, it happened. There's some laughter down there.
I've seen a couple of things worth smiling at tonight.
I mean, he got hit by a pitch, but it doesn't matter because he swung at it. They're laughing over there.
I don't feel bad laughing if they're laughing down on the field. I would hold the laugh back if no one down there was laughing.
That one's a little closer. It's 1-2.
You saw Ruben Mateo swing and miss at a Pedro Martinez fastball and get hit right in the chest. That was like a pinball machine. I got a feeling he's going to have to see that he almost did it again.
All right, one more time with feeling. That's like America's Funniest Home Videos right there.
Except Ibar's not laughing. That last pitch almost did it again.
So you want to get in the game, huh, Eric Ibar? All right, well. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ibar. In play, left field, there's Cruz.
Almost ran that count to 3 balls.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah. Crowd of 33,228 at the ballpark tonight. Let's see what kind of reception Ibar gets when he gets back here. Will anybody even mess with him?
He doesn't want to hear it, and they know.
No, he's. Oh, now, yeah.
Mickey Hatcher's not going to let him get by without laughing. The rest of the players are showing some respect because there's a lot of young players on the bench that probably don't feel it's their place to say anything. But Mickey Hatcher's not letting it go.
Everybody else just trying to hide their eyes. Mickey Hatcher's like, dude, that's hilarious. The 0-1 to Borges.
You know what? They don't know how funny it was till they see the replay either.
You think that will be viewed again?
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, he's okay.
Right.
And other people were laughing. That's why we're chiming in too.
Hit well by Peter Borges. Look at that. The Angels have tied it 2-2. The first home run allowed by O'Day this year at home. His first in the U.S. The others were all in Toronto.
You get a pretty good idea why the Angels are high on Peter Borges. You see his speed. He beat out a bunt. He drove one off the wall in center field for a double. And now a long home run to left field. Pretty impressive night for the youngster. Inside part of the plate.
They really think they've got something with Borges. He was the Pacific Coast League Rookie of the Year this year. A little blend of power and speed. Pass the mound, charged by Andrews. Gathers it in, makes that play very well on Kendrick. But now the Rangers are going to have to come on back. Cliff Lee will not get a win tonight. Gets a no decision instead. Oh, that music means it's college football time. Saturday, Kansas and Baylor. Big 12 live kickoff gets you going at 10:30 a.m. here on Fox Sports Southwest. Crowd of 33,000 plus on a Thursday night. Checking out the division champion at Texas Rangers. Peter Borges with a home run to tie this game 2-2. And some defensive changes to tell you about as the Rangers look to reclaim the lead. Most notably out there on the mound. Got the kid out of Mansfield High School, Jordan Walden. What a thrill for him.
Got some people in the stands watching him.
Yep, this is a huge night for him, getting a chance to pitch against his hometown team. Michael Young drives it towards right. We saw Walden throwing 101 in Anaheim. That one was at 98.
The one before it was 100.
The other changes, you got Bobby Wilson catching now. And Ibar chagrined, but he stays in the game at shortstop for the Angels. He knows he will soon be a YouTube sensation. Nelly Cruz in the air. Right center. Torrey Hunter back. It is almost out. And rolling along that wall. Cruz thinking about third. He's going for it. Now he's trapped. Hightailing it back to second. He made it.
He ran right into the middle of no man's land. And fortunately, the ball short out the third baseman.
Couldn't pick up the second base coach right there. 2 doubles tonight for Nelly, 30 for the year. And that go-ahead man now at second base.
They just missed a home run. Thought about trying for a triple. Well, he's hit the ball well the last 3 times up. 2 doubles. The first double was smoked right off the center field wall. Had a nice base hit to right mixed in there with the 2 doubles.
Wave and a miss. Vladdy did not get the fastball he expected. Two of those in a row.
That's a nice slider that Walden throws. No longer the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Sliders in the low 80s. Quite a differential in speeds.
Cruz is going. And he picked a good pitch to run on. It was in the dirt. He goes in standing up. Now all you need is a little sac fly here from Vladimir.
He'll have to play the infield in right here. 8th inning. Only surprising thing is Vladdy didn't line that into the outfield for a base hit on a hop.
Rangers had a last at bat win yesterday.
Fouled off that 99-mile-an-hour fastball, just trying to stay alive after 4 straight sliders. It's by him, and he's just knocking it out of the catcher's mitt to stay alive.
Into left base hit. Vlad flashed the claw about 8 steps out of the batter's box. He knew he had that.
He is pumped up to hit tonight. You can tell, boy. He is on a mission. He's hit a rope every time up. 2 of them have been caught. 1 in the gap in left center field. 1 shot to third base. He's got a double down the right field line, and now he's ripped a base hit, go-ahead base hit to left field. Maybe 1 too many breaking balls.
As an Angel against the Rangers, as you know, he used to kill the Rangers, and now he's turned around as a Ranger. He's doing that to the Angels.
A big stolen base by Nelly. Who knows? Might not be able to score from second if Vladdy hit the same pitch.
Now that sets up tag as a possible save for Neftali Feliz.
Yeah, that's nice.
40 would be a nice round number of those. This is going to be a chance for number 39.
Nelly wiggled out a little bit of out of a potential run into an out situation when he tried to stretch that double into a triple. Stopped halfway, but the throw was low, bounced, and he got back.
Bounced it up there.
Wilson all the way over to the other batter's box to get down and block that ball.
Looking for a little more here to extend it on the Angels. And Kinsler takes a little bit outside. Check swing, didn't mean to do that. Play is to first. Out number 2. First time that Kinsler's been retired tonight. Won't be an easy save in the top of the 9th. 3, 4, 5 in the order coming up for the Halos. The Rangers can max out this year, remember, at 92 wins. Only twice in their history have they had more than 90. Strike to the former Angel Molina. Boy, we have seen this one before, Tag. You and I doing games at the front part of this decade together. We talk about Molina trying to drive home Guerrero on this field.
Little did we know.
Yep, that they'd be doing it in white uniforms someday. Tremendous walk-up attendance tonight. They were expecting somewhere around 24,000-25,000. Crowd is more than 33,000 tonight.
Boy,
another one knocked down.
Wilson blocked those balls. That ball was about 4 feet in the wrong direction.
He's athletic.
Nice play. He used everything he could to block that. I think he used his arm to block it. Walden's not an easy guy to catch when he's throwing 100 miles an hour. Hard sliders.
Got Molina. But he gives up a run. Coming back home to the Metroplex. The Rangers lead 3-2 at the end of 8. Ranger Baseball brought to you by the Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and one for it is the best in Texas. Chance for Neftali Feliz to lock it up. It's save number 39. An add to his all-star resume for this year. Only 17 walks and 70 strikeouts for the flame-throwing native of the Dominican. Tough part of the order, though, trying to preserve a 3-2 Ranger win. It's Abreu, Hunter, and Napoli coming up. Outfield a bit towards left. Rangers have made a couple errors tonight, and they have stranded 6. But they just went ahead on a Vladimir Guerrero base hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. Popped into the crowd. Last day of work, Tom, for a couple of great support staff members here. Bouvet, you are the best, sir. Seriously. And Steve Tennyson is right up there, too. It might be a tie, actually, upon further review. Two of the great camera guys in sports. And our good buddy, Yo Mike. Mike McTighe, outstanding. That's not Mike, that's the RoboCam. And Dwayne, who operates that RoboCam, it's Dwayne's last game tonight. Thank you, Dwayne Collins, for all that you do. There are two guys, essentially, that get on the air all the time. It's you and me, Tag, and occasionally Jim Knox. But there's more than 24 other members of this support staff.
And do the hard work.
Well, and you take away one out of those 25, and the whole thing just falls apart. So they're as important, if not more important than we are. We never get to talk about them, so thank you, guys. 3-2 the count. Bouvet's going to be going off doing some football coming up soon. Same with Yo Mike. Another foul. And Tom, since I'm not going to be here Saturday or Sunday, and Dave Burchett is not going to be here tomorrow, I want to take an opportunity to personally thank our great director, Dave Burchett. He gets you all these pretty shots that you see all year. And he, too, one of the best in the business. Thank you, Dave. Payoff pitch. And another foul. This is what Abreu does very well. He's been doing it for 14, 15 years in the big leagues. Just hangs in there with 2 strikes on him. Molina sets up shop near the outside corner. And Feliz put it right there, but Abreu fouls another one.
Yeah, Abreu's doing a good job of hanging in there. Kind of defensive swings. Just slapping the balls out of play, staying alive.
Lost him. Boy, what an at-bat for Abreu. Torrey Hunter will come up as the go-ahead man. He had the game-winning hit just yesterday for the Angels. Only one home run in the game tonight, and it was last inning from the Angels. Peter Borges hit one out against Aaron O'Day, who now stands to be the winning pitcher, actually. Now, Hunter's hit into, for him anyway, what stands as a big number of double plays here in 2010. Off speed, strike one.
got the bullpen going, a righty and a lefty, because if this game would be tied, Ron Washington is not going to let Felice throw that many pitches. He's going to give him a chance to save it, but he's not going to give him a chance to stay in there if he doesn't save it.
Long and bat for Abreu, kind of putting Feliz in a position now where, yeah, it could be a 20-pitch inning, unless you get a double play right here. Rangers have out hit the Angels 9-5. If the Angels lose, there's no way they can be above 500 this year. If the Rangers win, they will be, for the first time in their history, 11 games up in first place.
Abreu's still a good base stealer. He's stolen 23 bases this year.
I mentioned the double plays for Hunter this year, 22 of them. Check swing, and that one moves inside. Mike Napoli next. Looking for save number 39, Neftali Feliz. He's high with this one, 3-1. Pretty good lead over there at first for Abreu. And a fly ball to right. Mitch Moreland finds it. And finally it took 13 pitches, but Feliz has that first out of the ninth inning, and now a double play ends the game.
That's a big out. He ran the count to 3-1. Nobody out, man on first base to a good fastball. Hunter was a little bit late, lofted a lazy fly ball to right field, but big out to get that first out.
As you mentioned, Tom, Ogando and Rapata in that Ranger pen. Got a lefty on deck in Hideki Matsui. Big rip and a miss from Napoli. Crowd of 33,228 on a Thursday night. A reminder that tomorrow night, fireworks after the game. If you don't have your tickets yet, you might want to grab them at TexasRangers.com. Tommy Hunter on the mound tomorrow night. Napoli is behind 0-2.
To chase that high fastball with an 0-2 count. Not much of reason to keep it anything but the high fastball. 96 miles an hour out of the strike zone. He swung at a couple of them. Might be prone to do it again. But Felice is doing the right thing. He's keeping Abreu at first base. Not going to let him steal second. Going to do whatever he can to keep him from stealing second. Abreu's stolen 23 times, but he's been thrown out 10 times. Percentage is not great.
Inside this time, almost hit him. Weak swing. He was able to make a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, he was fooled, but he actually did a pretty good job. He wasn't fooled to the point where he took it for strike 3. Slapped it foul. Stayed alive. That's all he's trying to do right there.
Be a 19th pitch coming up. Only 3 batters have faced Feliz. Rarely see this many throws from Feliz. But again, Abreu, veteran base stealer. Rangers started with 7 great innings from Cliff Lee tonight. Now Feliz trying to finish up. In on the hands, and Napoli fouls it. Definitely the part of the order, as we said, Tom, that it's going to give you a real good effort, real good fight. And Matsui next to do the same thing.
The high fastball. He got him to chase it several times. You see all the pitches up. Several of them out of the strike zone. He gets Napoli to swing at the high one again.
Last year's World Series MVP, Hideki Matsui. Nice ball, one outside. '22-year-old closer, all-star closer. Trying to knock this down. And a ground ball. Davis has got it. Ball game. Untucked, Vladdy. Yep, put your feet up. You did it to the Angels tonight.
Again.
After all those years as an Angel, that he did it to the Rangers. It's only fair. 33,000 plus watched it tonight, and Josh Hamilton is set to be in the lineup tomorrow. The Rangers win their 89th of the year, and for the first time in the history of the organization, they are 11 games up in first place.